I had intended this to be done and released in time for the holiday season, just after the shortlist dropped on December 21st. Unfortunately, real life intervened and I had to do a lot of work in the past few weeks. But I'm ready to reveal my feelings on the great Oscar race now. Welcome back. This is Tickets Plays Reviews with the last video we're getting before the official prediction video drops in mid January. The race has already taken multiple turns, and I expect a few more twists in the Oscars season before that video happens as the guilds start to get going. We're going down that roadmap as we go through all 23 categories, including the shorts for the first time. And then we'll take an updated look at the total nominations for the films that I projected, including the number of wins each film has. We'll kick things off with Best Picture. Remember what I said? Whoa. Remember what I said about last time about the top six, which had both nominations from the National Board of Review and the American Film Institute, would contain the winner? Although, in my personal opinion, I kind of doubt that Maestro has a realistic chance to win it, I still think it's true as of now. I have Oppenheimer retaking the top spot, even though I think it reminds me of Power of the Dog, a film that led until it was taken down the stretch by Coda. Could a repeat of 2021-22 be in the cards? What film could be considered to be more relatable, more heartfelt? Then I have Killers of the Flower Moon dropping in second for now, as films 3 through 5 stay where they're at. American Fiction rises ahead of Maestro for 6th place. And you can notice a return of Past Lives in 8th. It keeps being brought up in critics group nominations and the shortlist, proving that the low film that could, may be going nowhere but in Best Picture. I can't help but think of a repeat of Cannes winners of 2 of the last 3 years. Obviously, I think Titan was a little bit too extreme for its vote for Oscar voters. But of course, the other ones getting in, sort of like Triangle of Sadness last year, that I think this year's Anatomy of a Fall will make the cut as well. I'm going to stick with The Color Purple in 10th place for now, but that spot feels quite vulnerable. So, what film takes that spot? Could it be taken by Netflix's May December, Amazon's Saltburn, or perhaps a longer shot like A24's Iron Claw, or Fox Searchlight's Office Strangers, which did pretty well in the BAFTA long list nominations? Or might we even make history with an animated film like Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse or The Boy and the Heron? Maybe A24's The Zone of Interest makes 2 foreign films in the final 10, just like what we had last year with All Quiet on the Western Front and Triangle of Sadness. I guess we'll find out later on this month. Now we're going to take a quick look at Best Director. There we go. As the first 4 choices stay where they're at, as it's looking like Christopher Nolan is likely to win here. The last one's a bit more fluid. I think it'll be Justine Treat for Anatomy of a Fall or Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Perhaps in a repeat of last year when All Quiet received multiple nominations including Best Picture, but not for Director, which went with Ruben Östlund for Triangle, which also ended up making a cut for Best Picture. Might the same scenario unfold in a few weeks? Alright, now we're done with that. Let's take a look at the acting nods, starting with Best Actress. Over in Best Actress, I still think Lily Gladstone is leading right now, ahead of Emma Stone, with Carey Mulligan and Margot Robbie holding out the next couple of spots. Then I think there are 6 possibilities for that final spot here. Considering the increasing strength of Past Lives, I think as of now, Greta Lee will take that 5th and final position, but Fantasia Barrino for The Color Purple, Annette Bening for Naiad, Sandra Huller for Anatomy of a Fall, Natalie Portman for May December, and Kaylee Spawney for Priscilla might all have a chance come Oscar nomination day on January 23rd. Looking at Best Actor, we have essentially an 8-person race for nominations, as they have at least two of the nominations from the Golden Globes, the Critics' Choice, or made the BAFTA long list. The top 5 have shuffled, but remains a battle essentially between Bradley Cooper for Maestro and Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer. The other 3 that I would consider to be spoilers would be Colman Domingo for Rustin, Andrew Scott for All of Us Strangers, and Barry Keoghan for Saltburn. Now over in the Best Supporting Actress race, it's essentially unchanged as Divine Joy Randolph leads the way, and increasingly looking likely that could be the film that she could prevail here. I've seen others put down Jodie Foster as that 5th spot for Nyad, but color me a bit skeptical. Nyad has been very quiet in her awards hustle and bustle. I'm leaning towards that being left out on January 23rd. I can't help but think that this might be the area where we get a surprise nominee this year. Rachel McAdams for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, Rosamund Pike for Saltburn, Sandra Holler for The Zone of Interest, perhaps America Ferrera for Barbie, or Penelope Cruz for Ferrari. Or maybe it'll be a name nobody expected, like Erica Alexander for American Fiction or Vanessa Kirby for Napoleon. For Best Supporting Actor, it appears that Stasis is the order of the day. The surprising omission of Charles Melton for the BAFTA long list is mildly concerning, but the only other people I can see showing up ultimately would be Dominic Sessa for The Holdovers, Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, or William Dafoe for Poor Things. The SJ nominations on January 10th can either clear things up or throw up another curveball. Now that takes care of the big 6 of the Best Picture, Directing, and Acting nods. Next up is a written word with a screenplay, and we have some late-breaking news. Apparently the Academy has finally ruled on Barbie and Origin. They're considered to be adapted screenplays, not original ones. So how does that affect the races? In the adapted screenplay race, I have Barbie debuting at number 4 with Room to Grow. Although waiting so long to be ruled on does make it possible it misses out altogether. And considering how deep this category is, it wouldn't be a complete shock. Origin was a non-starter and unfortunately doesn't appear to affect anything. Beyond the top 5, All of Us Strangers and Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret are definitely lurking in the mix. As well as The Zone of Interest, the film that Barbie knocked out to get there. As for original screenplay, it's now a battle between The Holdovers and Past Lives for that Oscar. I could easily see Past Lives winning here as sort of a little, especially if it makes the Big Picture 10, in order to give it something, because they seem to like to spread those awards out. And now with Barbie gone, the door is open for May, December to debut in the top 5. I had spoilers for that include Air, Saltburn, and Rustin. This takes care of the screenplay categories. Next up are the visuals, the stuff you see on the screen. We'll take a look, starting with film editing, where there are no real changes. A couple of films have swapped spots, but nobody's moved in or out. Don't look for any sort of clarity from the ACE nominations, which will show up 2 days after the nominations. So, as a precursor, that's not going to help out very much. Over in cinematography, the top 5 remain where they're at for now. Saltburn and Barbie are spoilers who can grab a spot in the top 5. Makeup and hairstyling is one category that got completely transformed as a result of the shortlists and guild noms. Obviously, the big losses here would be Barbie and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which really kind of swapped things, which kind of really threw a curve in the mix here. Maestro and Poor Things remains at the top, and I think Oppenheimer and Coda will benefit from the turmoil as they received support from the Makeup Artists Guild and the BAFTA long list. Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon still have shots at crashing the party. And I do have Society of Snow with that last spot. The top four in production design may have swapped positions, but they've remained the top four since the beginning. But newcomer Asteroid City joins the top five now, with films like Maestro, Saltburn, Wonka, and Napoleon could have a chance to have something to say by January 23rd. Over in costume design, consistency is the order of the day, as the top five have been the same since early December. Look for Napoleon to possibly be a spoiler here. And a short list of visual effects is another category that threw everything in the mix here, as a lot of the superhero films and Transformers got thrown out. If the Critics' Choice and BAFTA longlists are any indication, I think we know four of the nominees, which would be The Creator, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Spider-Man, Across the Spider-Verse, and Poor Things. For now, I have Godzilla -1 and 5th, but that could be supplanted by Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Napoleon, or even Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Alright, that should take care of the visual portions of the predictions. Now we're going to go with the parts you can hear on the screen, the audio ones. Starting with Best Sound. Ferrari and Killers of the Flower Moon have swapped positions, but otherwise the top five is unchanged. Barbie, Napoleon, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 could serve as spoilers. The only major change in Best Score is that Society of the Snow has taken 5th place from Elemental. Poor Things and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse has swapped spots as well. Barbie, The Zone of Interest, and Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny could crash the party. Now we take a look at Best Song, which is another category that the shortlists have really threw a spanner into, as there is no Lin-Manuel Miranda, who will have to wait another year for his equality, as The Little Mermaid completely blanked. So did Wonka, Wish, and even Peaches from the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Is nothing sacred? Particularly for Jack Black? Well, the top three spots do stay the same. They're joined by The Fire Inside from Special Award winner Diane Warren, and It Never Went Away from American Symphony, done by John Baptiste, of course, that jumps in the top five. As for spoilers, I think the two songs from The Color Purple should be in the mix, as well as High Life from Florida and Sun. You might remember that one is written by the same group that did Once and Falling Slowly. That will take care of the audio parts. Next up are the other Best Pictures. Well, we'll start with Animated Feature. No changes really in the top three, but 4th or 5th are taken by Nimona from Netflix and Robot Dreams. Spoilers could come in the form of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, Wish, and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Mamma mia. Now we take a look at Best Documentary Feature. The shortlist had a good impact on this as well. My top three stay the same, but Tunisia's Four Daughters and The Eternal Memory take the 4th and 5th spots. Possible spoilers include Still, a Michael J. Fox film, and Bobi Wine, The People's President. Last but not least, an international feature, Society of Snow and Fallen Leaves has surged into the top 5, knocking down The Teacher's Lounge and Perfect Days onto the West, but they're all still there in the top 5. The Taste of Things and 20 Days in Mariupol serve as spoilers. And this will take care of the other Best Pictures. Now we conclude with the shorts. Starting with Animated, Disney's Salute to Itself, Once Upon a Studio, leads with Pete, Letter to a Pig, Pachyderm, and 95 Senses rounding out the top 5. Getting a nod for the BAFTA long list is Wild Summon. We'll see what that does to that entry. Over in documentary short, we have a brutal top 5 in what appears to be a very packed category with the ABCs of book banning, deciding vote, The Last Repair Shop, Last Song from Kabul, and If Dreams Were Lightning. Spoilers include The Barber of Little Rock, Between Earth and Sky, and Camp Courage. Finally, in live action, oh, not quite. Finally, over in live action shorts, despite the involvement of Wes Anderson, The Wonderful World of Henry Sugar is not leading the race as far as I can tell right now. I had the Anne Frank gift shop ahead with Sugar in second, Netflix fellow acquisition The After in third, Strange Way of Life, and Invincible rounding out the top 5. BAFTA's long list throughout support to Yellow and The One No Man. We'll see what that does. Now it's time to take a look at the actual nominations, including what I like to call the winners and losers. I have Oppenheimer with 13 nominations and a total of 8 wins. I think that latter number seems a bit too high. That might be something I have to adjust downward. Killers of the Flower Moon and Poor Things tied for second with 12 nominations. Moon manages to win that one Oscar for Lily Gladstone, and Poor Things walks away empty-handed. If that holds, this would tie it with a Turning Point in 1977 and the original Color Purple from 1986 for the most nominations without a win. Barbie gets 10 nominations and prevails on 3 of them, while Maestro wins on 2 of its nominations. A likely international film nominee, The Zone of Interest, cashes in on one of its projected 5 nominations. Okay, this wraps up my great Oscar race for late January. A reminder to be watching my Oscar predictions, which should show up in mid-January, along with plans to reveal the top 20 films I've seen in 2023 and the worst 10 films I've seen. Be sure to look for those videos out soon, and more reviews like I did for Megan will be coming up as well. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and spread the word. We'll see you next time here on Tickets Please Reviews, as the booth is now closed.